Oh. Okay. Misty, can you hear me? Okay.
You're blocking my
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Both here in the sanctuary and on Zoom. Hi again. So I'm Reverend Brenda Negley, and it is truly a wonderful day here in the neighborhood in Oakhurst. This morning, I was enjoying the heron that shares our property line here, listening to the birds, watching the geese fly by. It's so beautiful here. I love it. So as a friendly reminder, if you did bring a phone today, please make sure it's on mute or airplane mode. And I'm glad I wrote that down because I need to check mine. Oh, it's on mute. All is good. All right. So if you do have that, check it. Thank you. So do we have any visitors, guests, or newcomers in the sanctuary today?
I'm a visitor.
Yay! What is your name?
Mary Grace.
Mary Grace is here today. Thank you for being here today.
Happy to be here.
Oh, and I love your necklace. It's beautiful.
Mary Grace.
Yes.
Mary Grace is my best friend.
Oh, and Laurie B Ballard is here today, and
I
her
take
best
her
friend joined us.
everywhere.
Yeah. Welcome to the Positive Living Center today. All right, is there anyone new on Zoom today? Yes. Anyone? No? Okay. Next time, I'm sure. All right. All right, so get to where I am. So for everyone that is here, in the seat in front of you is the Positive Living Center beliefs chart, the prayer of protection, and the offertory prayer. You may want to use this during our service today for reference, and you may also take it home with you as a thank you for joining us today. So today is March 27th, and this is the year of creating a healthy lifestyle. Our themes for the month of March are focus related to physical health, cheerfulness related to mental health, and hope related to spiritual health. So now, coming up very soon, is time for meditation, and we will be listening to Laurie B Ballard while we meditate. And when she is finished, there will be a time of quiet reflection. When meditation is over, you will hear this Zen bowl. This. You will hear this Zen bowl. And that will be the notice that we are about to come back. So I wanted you to be aware of what that was. And let's see. So now, get yourself settled. Allow yourself to take a nice deep breath. Close your eyes. Bring in the vibration of your being and your heart. And as Laurie B Ballard sings and plays, the energy will fill this room while we silently meditate together. So welcome back. Get into your body. As we let our hearts unfold, we reconnect to our inner energy. We come back to the room, calm, relaxed, clear, and balanced. Thank you, Laurie B. Ballard.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you for
sorry I
doing
didn't
that.
sing. I
Oh,
could just,
it's okay.
can I
I
go
just-
sit down now?
It's up to you. I have a feeling she's going to be singing later. Absolutely. That was lovely. Thank you so much. All right, so the spiritual talk is next, and we're fortunate to have Patti Hummel here today. We're ready for your thoughts.
My thoughts.
Oh, and I forgot to change this, so everybody got to see Laurie for that one.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Is the top of my head cut off? I think we're okay. Yeah, Brenda and I are about the same size, so it's not like coming up after Joe Bull. We have to. So like Brenda told us, our topics are physical health focus, cheerfulness for mental thought or mental health, and hope for spiritual health. Now, I'm not sure about all the other speakers, but I really struggled with these ones this time. It was hard to write about them, and it was hard to decide. So like earlier in the month, I decided to go with focus. And then I changed my mind about a dozen times. Then I was talking with my friend, Jen Leduc, I believe she is on Zoom. And we were talking about how much we loved Yosemite and we loved rock climbing. And I haven't done it in years, but rock climbing was something you really had to focus on, you know, and I found it amazing that you could actually climb a mountain with your fingertips. You just focused on that hunk of granite. And I did a class with a group out of College of Marin, and they called themselves the Vertical Dancers, and it was an all-woman rock climbing group, and that's where I learned how to rock climb. And it was true. You were just kind of slowly dancing up the granite face, and it was wonderful. That's when I decided, okay, I'm going back to focus. Forget about the cheerfulness and the hope and all that. But I find focus the most difficult to pull off nowadays. It's been really hard to focus. I don't know, maybe it's my Mercury retrograde. I've heard that. There's another thing. There's like a collective trauma going on after we've all been in lockdown for so long, and we're all coming out of it. And they're calling it kind of a PTSD. And I think there may be something to that. Maybe Sandy can speak on that a little bit. I don't know, maybe it's like the painful back issue I'm dealing with. It's a lot of pain. It's a pain. Maybe this is what it's like to be 65. I keep losing focus. See, I'm losing my focus already here. Going back to my notes. If you're familiar with Star Wars, In episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Liam Neeson plays a character called Ki-Jong Jin. He's a Jedi warrior, hung out with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda. And he is teaching young Anakin Skywalker how to be a Jedi. And he's quoted as saying, "Your focus determines your reality." Well, if you're familiar with the story, young Anakin Skywalker ends up becoming Darth Vader, the evil Dark Lord. So you got to wonder what his focus was. And basically his focus was anger. And that's not a good place to go. We know that. I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I am definitely a Trekkie. I go for Star Trek. And I have another quote from a character called Saru on Star Trek Discovery. He's a very cool alien character. And he says, in a conversation with another member of Starfleet, he says, "We're both justified in our anger. Allowing it to be our focus, however, prevents us from achieving those things which serve the greater good. It's a struggle, yes, but a worthy one." Now, I've noticed a lot of anger in the world today. I see it at work. I work up at Tenaya Lodge, and the guests are ticked off. My fellow associates are getting ticked off, and I'm angry about inflated prices for food and fuel. I get angry about slow or no customer service. I get really angry about politics, and a whole lot of people are angry at Vladimir Putin. This is when we need to recall the legend of the Cherokee grandfather. He explained to his grandson that there are two wolves living within you that are fighting. They live in your heart. And one is anger and one is good. And the grandson asks, which one wins? And the wise grandfather replies, the one that you feed. So in these days of turmoil, and in these days of not really knowing what to do, and in these days when we keep bumping up against anger, I think it's really important to turn to spirit. The Buddhists have a practice called Trianta, or the three jewels. They're advised to take refuge in the three jewels. And the three jewels are, number one, take refuge in the Buddha, the enlightened one. Number two, take refuge in the Dharma, or the teachings. Number three, take refuge in the Sangha. The Sangha is the monastic order or your community. Now, here at PLC, we can do that. We can follow the very wise teachings of the Buddha. We can take refuge in the Buddha. We can take refuge in God. We can take refuge in Source, because with science in mind, we don't bother to name Source. We don't bother to name the creator of everything. We don't bother to, we don't say you'll have to call it this. It's like, whatever works for you. And, for me, that can take it can look like meditation. I find that the more I when I'm feeling really angry, meditation helps. Just, Patti, just shut up, sit down, and get quiet. We can take refuge in the Dharma or the teachings of science of mind. I find that I have a little trick that I do. You know, instead of, well, you can pull out a book and start reading, or a lot of times I'll pull out a book and just open it to any page. And you'd be really surprised how often that book or that page has a message for you. You can do it with Ernest Holmes' The Science of Mind. You can do it with the Bible. You can do it with, you know, I find that Wayne Dwyer's books work really well. There's a number of them and they're on your bookshelf. Pull one out and take a look at it because it has a message for you. Then we can take refuge in the Sangha. And that is all of you. All of us support each other. That's why we come together every Sunday. That's why we have our friends here on Zoom. That's what we are here for. You can reach out to any of our practitioners, any of our ministers, because times are tough out there and you don't have to do it alone. I have learned this. It makes your life a little bit easier. And I am grateful that I have this community. And I thank you all. And so it is.
Thank you, Patti. You said something that made me chuckle, but it's partly my story and your story. So I'm gonna say it really quick. So you're talking about your focus and it's getting lost. So, which I can relate to. And so what I do is I find it kind of funny because when you say your focus gets lost, it's like, where did it go?
Yeah.
Right? And so then I make a internal thing about, well, I'm gonna go find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. Anyway. But and I like Saru too. He's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's on Discovery. Saru is wonderful. All right, so now we are going to welcome again our musician, Laurie B Ballard, to share with us more of her musical wonder.
Oh, boy. Well, you all know I don't hardly have any focus anyway, but what I have found is that since I stopped watching the news, I am cheerful all the time.
Yeah.
And I am living in the fifth dimension. And it's not that hard to do, all right? I'm out in nature every day. And I am grateful for everything I have, all the people I know. And life is just wonderful. And I have found that what they're telling us is not the truth. So just follow your own truth. That's my advice for the day.
Right on, girl.
And also, this song I'm going to do, I was walking the dog down my little country road. I live on a dirt road and I just love it. But you have to walk like this, because it's so full of rocks and pit. I mean, it's not an easy walk. So I'm focused. When I'm walking, I'm focused. So is the dog. No, the dog's not either. But one day, and I'm always singing or thinking poems and words come to me. So this song, I think it was written in 1969, came to me, all the words. I mean, it just came as a little download. And I go, oh my God, that'd be and I was like, first I was so excited that I remembered all the words. And then I go, this would be a good PLC song. So here it is. Get all situated here. When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter lines with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will soon the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius. Understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. No more parties or dreams, golden living dreams of visions, mystic crystal revelations, and the mind's liberation. The moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter lines with Mars, and peace will guide the planets and love will see the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius. Now this is where I'm going to need everyone's help. Sunshine, come on everybody, I want to hear it. Let the sun shine in, the sun shine in. Let the sun shine, let the sun shine in, the sun shine in. Come on, let the sun shine in. Come on, everybody, let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. Thank you very much, everybody. And did everyone notice LJ was doing the way of that?
Okay. Thank you, Laurie B Ballard. That was so fun. Ooh, and I loved ending with "Let the Sun Shine In." It's a beautiful sunshiny day when you walk out. You can sing that. Bring it with you. Woo. All right. I feel like dancing. That's so fun. I know. Okay. Okay, so our wonderful speaker today is our very own Reverend Luana Bull.
So good. Oh, good morning, everyone. Ah, Laurie B, what a gift. What a gift. I'm reminded of another gift you gave when you were finishing your Reverend studies. You walked up, stood in the middle of the stage. Can you hear this? Stood in the middle of the stage and just said, God is, we are.
Mhm.
And when you did that, my friend, I felt it to my core. And that's the way it is here at the PLC.
Half your head's off.
Half of my head's off. Okay, well, we'll fix that. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay, now my chin's off. Okay, how about that? Okay, good. Ernest Holmes said it this way: we are all thinking, willing, knowing, conscious sinners of life. We are surrounded by, immersed in, and there is flowing through us a creative something. And as Patti said, call it what you will. Call it what you will. I love to get right into things because I only get 15 to 20 minutes to talk to you. So I want to just dive right in. Don't get whiplash. I've shared with you before the centering thought of John Wooden's father. And what he said was, John, you are no more or less worthy than anyone else. Well, in the class that we're studying, most recently, the book that we're studying, which is Deepak Chopra's Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire, on page 202, he says something similar. He says, you understand that we are all equal because we are all connected to the same conscious intelligence flow. That means that you understand that as you, well, let me finish that sentence. That means that you understand that as you move through your life, you are beneath no one and superior to no one. I love the way that centers me in. I just love the way that tunes me into some place within my being that is okay, is alive, is present. I brought several books today, and they're all out here. And we're going to get into some of those. I'm going to ask for your help. Maybe you'll grab one for me and hand it to me, and then I'll explore what ties this all together about pointing us to our core, to our center, to our spirit nature. We are in this conscious creation world of ours. And we are the leading edge of what's next to be because we're here now. Just as our ancestors were the leading edge for us by what they lived and chose and created, we're the leading edge for what is yet to be. One of the early Science of Mind lessons that I remember receiving was the clear understanding that was shared that everything that we see, everything is here because it was an idea first. So let's just play with that for a minute or two, just to kind of dive into it. Look around the room. Look at anything you want to look at. It could be the cable on the floor. It could be the lamp. It could be anything you see. And Joe, would you be kind enough to take the microphone to whoever raises their hand, because I would love for you to share what you see that's been created from an idea in what you just looked at. Who's willing to do that with me?
All of the art, all of the art in this room.
No, that helps the Zoomers, please. You're helping the Zoomers here.
Oh, I didn't know. The art in this room, the stars, the paintings, all an idea before it became matter, became real. Thought plus emotion equals reality.
Ooh, Barney. And who else is that? Judy in the back. Yes.
This building,
Mm, mm,
this land, this sense of place.
mm.
This building.
Oh.
Where's Brenda?
Test. Please be stronger up there. That's all right.
This building.
Right up close, sweetie. There it
This
is.
building, this land, this idea of community
Mm,
was all a beloved's dream that came together.
mm, mm.
Everybody, the back of everybody's head. That's how I see it, I sit back here, but it's great because then they start going, oh, look who's here. And that makes me feel good.
Mm.
And that it contained, this wouldn't be a building without the spirit of the people that come.
Amen. Mm.
Can you hear me okay?
I heard that. I heard that.
It wouldn't be this situation if we didn't have the spirit of the people that come here.
Yes,
And that's what I was looking at.
beautiful.
Follow up what Judy had to say. Not only a beloved dream, but a shared beloved dream.
Mm.
That's the group of people come together and dream together to create.
Mm. Thank you, Leo. Mm. That's it. From tangible things that we see, like the carpet, and then the wood beneath that. Somebody decided that, wood is great. It's awesome. It's beautiful in the forest, but you know what? It's regenerative. So maybe we could use some of that wood and we could create things with it. And so there's that. And then there's somebody created the nails or the staples or that's holding the carpet, and somebody else created, and how we are all creating from the something, the isness that we all are. We're creating from that intelligence and the more. So one of the things, thank you, Joe. One of the things is I have a number of books here that are telling us a lot of the same thing. And I won't say it's the same thing that rings your heart, that makes your heart sing. I'm going to say it's the same thing that makes my heart sing, because I've had these books handed to me by people in the spiritual community. I've had these books be part of a class that we've done in the past. Joey, thank you so much. Oh, I mean, Joe, thank you. Almost Reverend Joe. So I've been asked many times to do a numbers type of a workshop or something like that. And I've been hesitant to do that. And can I share why? I'm hesitant to do it because I don't want us to get distracted by the numbers. I want us to see what the numbers are pointing us to. And so that's why I brought several different traditions today. And Laurie B, would you start us off by grabbing one of those and handing it to me? Anyone that rings interesting to you?
Well, let's see. Well, this has always been one of my favorites. This was actually the first book I ever bought from the PLC bookstore.
Really?
Back when I first started my spiritual quest.
Wow.
Yeah,
Whoa. Thank you, sweetie.
you're welcome.
That is, I mean, you can tell I put a little time into this one. One of the things that I was seeing here on this book to share today was inner gifts. Imagine a hidden spring flowing in depths unseen, carrying within its current secrets, ready to burst forth in abundance, nourishing, giving life for anyone willing to dig deeper. How are you like that hidden spring? What resources wait for you just beneath the surface? What gifts might you find? And what practical ways do you need to balance your life before your inner sight opens? What we are is God's gift to us. What we become is our gift to God. Anonymous. Our freedom is immense. So much so that we can just go haywire if we chose. We can also focus our energy, our love, our attention, and things blossom, things grow. Is energy we create from, or I should say, it is the energy we create from that leaves a footprint wherever we are. That is why when I feel really off center, I go to my practitioner. I take the time to settle, kind of like the water settles. It isn't as murky when it's just allowed to be still. Would anyone, Reverend Kim, would you be willing to grab a book for me?
Sure.
And if anybody else is interested, come on up and grab one too, and I'll do that one right after it.
What was the title of the first book?
It's The Life You Were Born to Live. It's one of Dan Millman's works.
Yes, very good. I like that book too.
And this one is The Anatomy of Spirit. It's a Carolyn Mace book. I was introduced to Carolyn Mace by, she's a medical intuitive, and I was introduced to her by Teresa at the Positive Living Center. Teresa Parker introduced me to Carolyn. She had a cassette tape, if that lets you know the time. Inside here, in this book, she does such an amazing job of pointing to how the messages are coming from so many different places about this energy center reality we have within our being. She commented on it coming from the Kabbalah understanding. She commented on it coming from the chakras and also from the sacred sacraments. In this one, she merged them all together, but I love the way she summarized, remembering that I'll start from 7, live in the present moment. 6, seek only the truth. 5, surrender personal will to divine will. 4, love is divine power. 3, honor oneself. 2, honor one another. 1, all is one. And where we place our creative power, whether it be into song, whether it be into dance, or all the magnificent ways it can show up in service, sweeping floors, caring for things, fixing things, caring for people, mending our hearts and our minds in support of each other and with each other. All of that tunes us into those centers that we are, and the ones that we don't know that we are yet, that are beyond our physical form, beyond time and space. In what Deepak calls he calls it hoping somebody from class was going to chime in for me. What was that?
Non-local.
Non-local. He calls it the non-local. Yes. Maybe one more. Anybody willing to grab one more for me?
I'm such an opportunist.
It's fun. It's play.
I don't know this. At all, random.
Thank you. This one, look at the adventurer. He goes for the one he doesn't know. I love that. This is A Search for God, and this was Edgar Cayce. He did 2 books along with his study group that was involved. And the reason I really loved going to this one was because of the fact that in our class that we're in right now, which, just a second. In the class that we're in right now, Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire, Deepak pointed out that meditation first. Now, you don't have to do official meditation. You don't have to do technically correct meditation. You could be watering your lawn, and it's a form of meditation. There are so many ways we can meditate, but the premise is being still. They can be through breathing. It can be through attention to a flame. It can be through letting everything flow in our mind easily and just being a witness, but meditation. And that's what Edgar Cayce is a way back. He was before, in fact, I don't remember when he was born, but way back. Copyright on this was 1942, the first time. And he commented, he says, our approaches and results may differ, but the same understanding, the same point of consciousness, and the same state of awareness are the ultimate goals. 2 attitudes are essential: a strong desire to seek truth, a constant, consistent effort to move forward. That was from Edgar Cayce. And he was a gift to me, my first exposure, from Don Royer. And he just came up and handed me the book of Edgar Cayce's life. Just walked up in church, and he was an elder, and just handed it to me. And I'm going, wow, that's so cool. This one right here is Saved by the Light. And it is Daniel Brinkley. And Daniel Brinkley had some prophecies. He had a near-death experience, came back. In his book, he portrays that. And he talks about this. He says, I saw a vision of 7 rooms, each a step in a process. 1, a therapy room.
Can you speak louder?
Yes.
Can't hear you back.
You got it.
Thank you.
1, he says, I saw a vision of 7 rooms, each a step in the process. The first one was a therapy room where people came and they talked to each other. The second was a massage clinic where people were not only massaged, but they were actually giving massages. The third was a sensory deprivation chamber, which was some kind of chamber that allowed people to go very deep in relaxation. The fourth was a room equipped with biofeedback to let people know the extent of which they can control their emotions. The fifth is an area for readings to allow those with psychic abilities to provide patients with personal insights. The sixth was a room with a bed whose musical components relax a person so deeply that they can actually leave their body. And the seventh was a reflection chamber made of polished steel and copper on the inside and shaped in such a way that a person could not see their own reflection. He envisioned the walls to be maybe polished stainless steel or something like that. Wasn't quite sure what the purpose was, but these 7 rooms were essential to help people to realize that we didn't have to live in fear. We don't have to live in fear. And that people who are not overcome by fear make better decisions for their lives than people who do. No judgment against us when we are in fear, just that encouragement. I'll go ahead and finish with page 246 on this one from Deepak. He says, all the ideas presented here are the ruling principles of the universe. If you make them the guidepost of your own life, you live the life of your dreams. Understanding that these principles are not just abstractions, that actually they are operating in everything we do, is really more than just awareness. It's really a kind of celebration. When you have mastered, he calls it synchrodestiny, when you have learned to synchronize your life with the universe itself, you are celebrating the cosmic dance. I love celebrating with you. Namaste.
Thank you so much for sharing those books. There's one that you mentioned. I definitely want to talk to you afterwards. Sounds wonderful. All right. Thank you, Reverend LJ. All right. Next up is the Offertory. So would our ushers, Reverend Judy DeRosa and John Lalonde, please join me up on the stage. The Offertory statement can be found in the back of the chairs in front of most of you, if you'd like to pull that out. All right, now please say with me, divine love flowing through me, blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Thank you. Thank you for financially supporting the Positive Living Center. We are a nonprofit that is funded by donations only. Your generosity of spirit continually brings the power of love and the ability to transform lives and build community. You may also send donations to PLC to PO Box 2683, Oakhurst, California, 93644, or PayPal via the green donate button tab that's shown on the weekly PLC bulletins iFocus. It is time for announcements. If you are in the sanctuary, please, let's see, is that microphone here? That portable microphone somewhere?
It's up front.
Okay, thank you. So if you have an announcement, if you could please come up to the podium, or we can have someone bring you the microphone. I really don't want to leave the people out on Zoom, so they can't, I want them to be able to hear you. So is there anyone with an announcement? Oh, maybe we don't need. Yeah, okay, Laurie B Ballard.
Test, 1, 2, 3, test. Yeah, speak right into it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
What?
Well, hi, everybody.
Right into it,
Like this close,
Yes.
like your lips have to touch it.
Yes. Okay, I watch it when you go.
I might have cooties, I don't know. Well, yesterday I had a surprise call from David Lopez. Remember him? He's in Australia now. And of course, I almost didn't answer the phone because it looked like one of those annoying phone calls, but I did, and it was David. And he wanted me, because you know how he is, he's always got to say something at our little meetings. Would you please tell them that I called you? And I said, okay. So anyway, he is doing great. He lives on 30 beautiful acres full of parrots of all different colors, kind of reminds me of that little song, the poem that I wrote. And he is having a great time, and he misses everybody, and he's getting very, very spiritual, I can tell. So anyway, that's it. That's my message. He just wanted to say hi to everybody.
Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else have an announcement?
You want?
Okay.
Nicholas on Zoom has an announcement.
Yep, I am going there. Just, all right. Who on Zoom has an announcement?
There we go.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. I just want to say I haven't been tuning in for a while for various reasons, none of them because of the information and the inspiration I get from the Positive Living Center. But based on what I've heard today, I want to highlight something. One of my favorite books, and I cannot remember where, but what it referenced was Ernest Holmes took the best of the teachings, the religions, the spiritual nature, and all the writings of Eastern philosophy and brought them together. And in a cross-reference, he brought together the science of mind, each one referring somehow to and supporting him in what he brought into the science of mind. I want to say that the Positive Living Center exemplifies what Ernest Holmes taught, and not like other centers I've been to that call themselves religious science. Positive Living Center never deviates off to one of those other philosophies that Ernest Holmes originally referenced. You are definitely a wonderful center for science of mind and religious science. And I am so grateful, so truly grateful to be part of you, even at a distance.
Yeah, and we're grateful that you're joining us on Zoom today as well. Okay, any other announcements? Yes, okay, microphone.
I don't think I need a microphone.
Oh, well,
Becky tells me not whispering goes clear across the room.
I thought we were done with this.
Oh, I did, well, it's all right. We were wanting the people on Zoom to be able to hear you, so they need the microphone.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, they don't have to see my face. Okay. I wanted to announce that sometimes I doze off. I did today, missing out on some good words. I came from a Pentecostal background. It's wrong thing. I just went around to a lot of different churches, and they keep you awake. And my battery light came on this morning on my car to take off. And it's kind of like a Pentecostal church that keeps you awake. So when I hear this nice, smooth voice going, it reminds me of Becky telling me about she likes to hear Ray Price sing. It puts her to sleep. And that's why your voice put me to sleep. I woke up kind of embarrassed. But I want to give you some of my background and explain why. Thank you very much.
That was a compliment, I think.
Thank you for your announcement. Okay.
Battery life is not a compliment.
Well, were you comfortable?
Today,
Yeah,
What
good.
do you think I would?
It's lovely. All right. So for anyone in need of a prayer treatment, our PLC practitioners are here to support you. The practitioner partner this week is Joe Bull. There is also a frog box at the back near the front door. So you can write down a prayer request to the PLC team and place it in that box, and we'll be able to see that for you. If you're looking for prayers for yourself or someone else, please contact, again, practitioner Joe Bull, and he will put those prayers out to the prayer team, church practitioners, and reverends. His contact information can be found on the PLC newsletter iFocus as well. And the heart to heart. PLC has a heart to heart outreach. We all go through life's transitions, and your PLC heart to heart team members are ready to partner with you on your journey. This is whether you need to talk or seek support for any other needs you might have. Together, we create a new way of being in community. Reverend Judy DeRosa is the Heart to Heart liaison, and you can find her contact information as well on the PLC newsletter iFocus. And next week's speaker is Reverend Sandy West. And it is now time for the prayer of protection that's also found on that same card that's in the back of the seat. All right, so here we go. Please stay with me. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. So we are going to have our beloved Reverend Dr. Angelo Pizzello pray us out today. Nice to hear your voice.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear back there? Not too well.
I'll speak louder.
I have an idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I want to welcome my dear friend, Nick Angadi. I love you, Nick. Join me at that top floor of awareness, that cosmic awareness where only love and pure joy can exist. That place where we are totally aware of that we are an incarnated love form of God itself, experiencing its physical creations as each of us. That's what we are. And we're so grateful for this. We also know through these ideas of themes that which we focus on expands in our life. That which we're grateful for also expands with our life. So today we set aside fear and doubt. Who needs to experience that? Let's set aside that and know that we are this incarnate life form of God that is all that we do. Everything we do is in divine perfection. It cannot be an error. God only creates the very best, the good. So today we accept our divine perfection in our physical beingness. We accept this divine perfection in every circumstance and condition, even though they may try to bring fear and doubt in our lives. We go to love, that cosmic awareness that we are the people that experiences this love energy as the life form of God itself. We're grateful for this. We know this is our truth. And say with me loud and clear, I can hear you. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you so much, Angelo.
You're welcome.
So, and we also thank all of you for joining us today at the Positive Living Center. Go out and share the kindness and love that flows in your heart. And I look forward to seeing you all next Sunday.
Go ahead and unmute and tell everybody bye.